everybody, I'm Rachel Bonnetta and this is your 2015 preview for Real Salt Lake. Let's step into our soccer time machine and head back to 2014. Another solid campaign for RSL, finishing with the 4th most points in the regular season. And then they get smoked by LA 5-0 in the Western Conference semifinals, second leg.
Sensational!
Did not see that coming. So what now? They lost veterans Nat Borchers, Chris Wingert, and Ned Grabavoy this offseason, and the architect of the recent successes, general manager Garth Lagerwey. Now there is still plenty of talent in Salt Lake with the likes of Kyle Beckerman and his hair, of course, Nick Rimando, Javier Morales, Luis Gil, I could go on and on. Plus, they brought back Jamison Olave from New York. But major problem alert, okay, second-year head coach Jeff Cassar will be missing his leading scorer, João Plata, for a few months. You know, this guy. The Ecuadorian forward who scored 13 goals last season broke his foot in preseason. Ouch. How will Coach Cassar line things up this season? Well, Jason Saghini is here to give us a sneak peek.
Thanks, Rach. Well, after the exit of 3 starters this offseason and an injury to another, RSL will have a little bit of a new look here, a 4-3-3. Now, they can make up for the loss of João Plata with their forward depth, though. You have Alvaro Sabrillo, Sebastian Jaime, and the youngster Olmes Garcia. And speaking of youngsters, 21-year-old Luis Gil will get his chance to shine in the RSL midfield, although not at that number 10 spot that some would hope for. Javier Morales holds down that spot, although I wouldn't expect 34 games out of the 35-year-old. And Jamison Olave brought back on the back line. He'll pair with Chris Schuler, of course, the incumbent, in front of the always steady Nick Rimando. DeMar Phillips is expected to replace Chris Wingert at left back, and Tony Beltran, of course, will hold down that right side of the defense. Look, if there's one thing I'm worried about with RSL, it might be defensive depth after the first line, but the drafting of Boyd Aquanu and the recent signing of Guatemalan Elias Vasquez should help that a little bit.
One more big acquisition in the offseason for RSL to mention, this enormous video board at Rio Tinto. This gorgeous 4,200 square foot video board is the largest in MLS. Oh, what's that? LA Galaxy has just built a bigger video board, and it's 5,200 square feet. Man, it has been quite the offseason of video board wars in MLS. LA Galaxies might be bigger, but, you know, as a former halftime host who's appeared on many video boards, I want to know who's got the better video quality. What kind of highlights will we see on the Rio Tinto big screen this season? We gathered some MLS experts to give us their RSL predictions, superlative style.
Real Salt Lake, most likely to cut a designated player in mid-season.
Most likely to disappoint in 2015 due to the change of tactics.
Most likely to disappoint in 2015. Doesn't mean they'll be really bad, it just means they won't be hitting the heights that they're used to at Rio Tinto.
Most likely to struggle in MLS because of Champions League play.
Most likely to have an off-the-radar MVP candidate. I think Luis Gil has what it takes.
Team whose season is most likely to be derailed by injury.
Real Salt Lake, most likely to have their season hurt by injuries.
That's what the experts think, but more importantly, let's see how the fans are feeling.
Real Salt Lake 2015, finally time. The thing I'm the most excited about this year is the unknown. It's kind of weird going into a season where we've lost so many important players, and we're coming into a season where we have a lot of opportunities and we don't really know what will happen, but that's what's exciting. For the first time in a really long time, there's a bit of the unknown coming into it. That's what I look forward to. All
right, I'm done. Now it is your turn. Can RSL return to the MLS Cup like they did in 2013, or will this be a rebuilding year for Cassar's crew? Let me know in the comments. Now, before I go, some important non-breaking news. Friday and Sunday nights are your new nights for MLS on national television. Friday nights you can watch on Unimas and UDN. Don't speak Spanish? I got 3 letters for you. SAP, bro. Use the SAP function and presto, English commentary. Sunday nights, tune in to ESPN and Fox Sports, and of course Canada, I didn't forget about you. TSN and RDS has got you covered. Go to MLSsoccer.com/TV for all of the details, and I'll see you next time. Bye!